Hey Henry, can I tell you something funny? Every time I search online for English listening practice, the same phrase keeps popping up again and again.
Let me guess. English story for listening.
Exactly. That phrase has huge search volume. And honestly, I understand why. Stories are just easier to listen to than boring lessons.
Totally agree. When you listen to a story, your brain relaxes. You're not thinking, oh no, grammar. You're just enjoying the story and learning without stress.
That's why today we're doing mini stories. Short, simple, but meaningful stories for English listening practice.
And we'll talk about them naturally, like two friends chatting. No pressure, no exams.
Exactly. So if you're listening, don't worry about understanding every single word. Just relax and follow the story.
All right, Sophia, what's our first mini story?
Okay, picture this. A young man named Daniel wakes up late one morning.
Already sounds stressful.
Very stressful. Daniel usually wakes up at 7 a.m., but that day he opens his eyes and sees the clock. It's 8:20.
Oh no, let me guess. His train is at 8:30?
Exactly. He jumps out of bed, doesn't even brush his hair properly, grabs his bag, and runs out of the house.
I can imagine him running down the street, breathing heavily.
Yes, he reaches the station just in time to see the train doors closing.
That moment when you know it's over.
He stands there, disappointed, watching the train move away. For a few seconds, he feels angry with himself.
That's very human. Missing a train feels like failing the whole day.
Exactly. But then something interesting happens. While he's standing there, upset, an elderly man starts talking to him.
A stranger?
Yes, the man smiles and says, "Looks like today wants you to slow down."
That's a beautiful line.
Daniel laughs a little. They start talking. The man tells him stories about his life, his travels, his mistakes, his regrets.
So missing the train leads to a conversation.
Yes, and that conversation changes Daniel's mood completely. He feels calm, even grateful.
That's interesting. Sometimes what we think is a bad moment becomes a good one.
Exactly. Daniel takes the next train, but he arrives at work feeling lighter, not stressed.
Let's pause for a second. For listeners, this story is great because it uses daily life vocabulary.
Yes, words like wake up, train station, late, disappointed, these are very common words in real conversations.
And notice how the story flows. You don't need to understand every sentence to understand the feeling.
That's important. Listening isn't about translating in your head, it's about understanding meaning.
All right, my turn. I've got a short one too.
I'm ready.
There's a woman named Lena. One morning, the weather forecast says, no rain today.
I already don't trust that forecast.
Neither does Lena. She stands at her door, holding an umbrella, thinking, should I take it or not?
That moment of decision we all know.
Exactly. She decides not to take it. 10 minutes later, heavy rain.
Of course.
She runs, gets wet, and stands under a small shop roof, annoyed and cold.
Let me guess, someone with an umbrella appears.
Yes. A stranger walks by, sees her, and without saying much, shares his umbrella.
That's sweet.
They walk together for 5 minutes, talk about nothing special, just the weather, the city, work.
Small talk.
Yes, but it feels warm. When they separate, Lena realizes something.
What?
She says to herself, I got wet, but I also got a moment of kindness.
I love that. It's such a simple story, but very real.
This is why mini stories work for listening.
They're short, emotional, and easy to remember.
And they repeat common sentence patterns, like she decided to, or he realized that.
Listeners can replay the story and suddenly think, oh, I understand this better now.
Let's do one more before we stop this part.
All right.
There's a college student named Ion. It's midnight, and he's tired, stressed, and overthinking life.
Relatable.
He checks his phone one last time before sleeping. There's a message from his old friend.
Unexpected messages hit differently at night.
The message says, hey, I just wanted to say, you mattered more than you know.
Wow.
Ion reads it again and again. His stress doesn't disappear, but his heart feels lighter.
Sometimes one sentence can change the whole night.
Exactly. He sleeps better that night, not because his problems are gone, but because he feels less alone.
If you're listening right now, try this. After this episode, retell one story in your own words.
Yes, even in simple English, that's how listening turns into speaking.
And remember, slow progress is still progress.
Always.
So, Henry, let's continue with more mini stories. Same idea, simple situations, real emotions, natural English.
Perfect. And listeners, remember, just relax and listen. Don't pause every sentence in your head.
Mini story 4, The Wrong Call. All right, here's the next one. A woman named Maya is walking home after a long day at work.
Already sounds tiring.
Very. She's scrolling through her phone and decides to call her sister. She taps a name, puts the phone to her ear, and starts talking.
Without checking.
Exactly. She says, "You won't believe how bad my day was." Then she complains about her boss, her job, everything.
Uh-oh.
After 2 full minutes, a calm voice on the other end says, "I'm sorry, I think you meant to call someone else."
Oh no, wrong number.
Yes. Maya freezes. She checks the screen. Wrong contact.
That awkward silence.
She apologizes again and again, but the stranger laughs and says, "It's okay. Honestly, I needed to hear someone be real today."
That's unexpected.
They talk for another minute, then they hang up. Maya walks home smiling.
So even a mistake becomes a human connection.
Exactly.
Listening insight.
Notice the phrases here. You won't believe, long day, it's okay.
These are everyday expressions. You'll hear them everywhere, in movies, calls, real life. Mini story 5, The Quiet Cafe.
Let me tell the next one. There's a small cafe at the corner of a busy street.
I already like the setting.
Every morning, a man named Omar sits there alone with his coffee.
Same time every day?
Yes, same table, same drink. He doesn't use his phone. He just sits and watches people.
That's rare these days.
One morning, a young woman asks, "Is this seat taken?"
Let me guess, she sits with him.
She does. They don't talk at first, just drink coffee.
Comfortable silence?
Exactly. Then she smiles and says, "You look like someone who enjoys quiet."
That's a nice observation.
Omar replies, "Quiet listens better."
Wow, that's deep.
They talk for 10 minutes. Nothing dramatic, just thoughts about life.
And then?
She leaves. He never sees her again. But from that day on, Omar feels less lonely in that cafe.
Why this helps listening.
This story teaches something important. Not all conversations are loud or exciting.
And English isn't always fast. Sometimes it's slow and thoughtful.
If you miss a word or two here or there, it's okay. The feeling still comes through.
M. Night 16, The Elevator Moment. Next one's short. A man named Chris enters an elevator in his office building.
Those awkward elevator rides.
Exactly. It stops on every floor. One woman is standing next to him, silent.
No eye contact?
None. Suddenly, the elevator stops completely.
Oh, great.
Lights flicker, silence. Chris clears his throat and says, "So, this is not how I planned my evening."
Nice icebreaker.
The woman laughs. They start talking about work, weekends, favorite food.
Funny how being stuck forces conversation.
After 10 minutes, the elevator moves again. Doors open.
Back to real life.
They walk out smiling. At the door, she says, "Best elevator ride ever."
I love that.
Natural phrase focus.
Listeners pay attention to phrases like, "I didn't plan this," or "best ever." These are very natural and useful in daily English.
Mini story 7, The Unsent Message.
All right, last story for this part.
Go ahead.
There's a teenager named Noah. He writes a long message to his best friend
About what?
about how thankful he is, how much the friendship means to him.
That's emotional.
He reads it again, then again. His thumb hovers over the send button.
Let me guess, he doesn't send it.
He doesn't. He saves it and puts his phone down.
Why?
Because sometimes feelings are real even if they stay unsent.
That's powerful.
The next day, his friend smiles at him like always, and that's enough.
Gentle practice suggestion.
So if you want to practice after listening, choose one story.
Listen again and notice how often the past tense is used.
Walked, said, decided, smiled. These verbs repeat a lot in storytelling.
That repetition helps your brain learn naturally.
All right, let's keep going with more mini stories. Same calm pace, same everyday English.
And remember, listeners, don't rush your understanding. Let the words come to you.
Mini story 8, The Morning Note. Here's the next one. A young woman named Alina wakes up early one morning.
Earlier than usual?
Yes, the house is quiet. She goes to the kitchen and notices a small piece of paper on the table.
A note.
Exactly. It's from her mother. Just 3 lines. I left early. Your lunch is in the fridge. Have a good day.
Simple words.
Very simple. But Alina stands there holding the note for a long time.
Because it feels caring.
Yes, she suddenly feels motivated. Her day starts with warmth instead of stress.
Listening detail. Notice how short sentences carry emotion.
You don't need complex vocabulary to sound natural in English.
Mini story 9, The Lost Phone. Let me share the next one. A boy named Rafi is on a crowded bus.
Already chaotic.
He gets off quickly and realizes something. His phone is gone.
That panic.
Yes, his heart races. He searches his pockets again and again.
But no phone.
Suddenly, someone taps his shoulder. A girl holds up a phone and says, "Is this yours?"
Instant relief.
Rafi nods, almost speechless. She smiles and gets back on the bus before he can even say thank you.
A small act, big impact.
The rest of his day feels lighter.
Listening tip.
Stories like this help you understand emotion through tone, not just words.
Listen to how relief sounds different from panic.
Mini story 10, The Unexpected Delay.
Next story. A man named Victor is waiting at the airport.
Let me guess, flight delay?
Yes, the screen flashes, delayed 3 hours.
Ouch.
People complain. Victor sighs and sits down, tired.
What does he do with the time?
He opens a book he's been carrying for months but never read.
The book we always carry.
Exactly. 3 hours later, he finishes half the book and feels strangely happy.
So the delay gives him time.
Yes, sometimes waiting gives us what we avoid.
Phrase focus. Listen for phrases like for months, never had time, strangely happy.
These expressions are very common in storytelling.
Mini story 11, The Empty Classroom. All right, here's another. A teacher named Miss Carter enters her classroom after school.
Empty?
Empty and quiet. She starts erasing the board.
End of day routine.
She finds a small drawing taped under the desk.
From a student?
Yes, a simple drawing of her with the words, "Thank you for being patient."
That must hit the heart.
She sits down for a moment and smiles.
Teaching is emotional work.
Very.
Mini story 12, The Night Walk.
Last one for this part. A college student named Ibrahim can't sleep.
Too many thoughts?
Yes, he puts on a hoodie and goes for a walk.
Late at night?
Quiet streets, cool air. He listens to his footsteps.
That sounds calming.
By the time he returns home, his mind feels clearer.
Sometimes movement helps more than thinking.
Exactly.
Gentle practice reminder.
Try listening again and notice how often past simple verbs appear.
Woke up, noticed, waited, smiled, returned.
These verbs are the backbone of everyday English stories.
Let's continue with the final set of mini stories. Same simple English, same real-life moments.
And listeners, if you've stayed with us till now, you're already improving your listening more than you think.
Mini story 13, The Early Bus.
Here's the first one. A woman named Nora waits at the bus stop before sunrise.
That quiet early morning feeling.
Exactly. The city is still asleep. The bus arrives earlier than usual.
That's rare.
Nora smiles, gets on, and chooses a window seat.
Watching the city wake up.
Yes. For once, she's not rushing. She enjoys the silence.
Listening focus.
Notice how short descriptive sentences create atmosphere.
You don't need fast speech to tell a good story.
Mini story 14. The delivery.
Next one. A man named Ethan receives a package at his door.
Was he expecting it?
Not at all. There's no name on the box, just his address.
That's mysterious. Inside, he finds an old book he loved as a child.
That's emotional.
Tucked inside the book is a note. You once said this story changed you.
Wow.
Ethan sits quietly, remembering who he used to be.
Mini story 15. The missed call.
Here's another. A woman named Sarah notices a missed call from her father.
She's busy?
Yes. She thinks, I'll call him later.
Later becomes very late.
Exactly. That night, she finally calls.
And?
He answers happily, like he was waiting.
That says a lot.
They talk for only 5 minutes, but it feels important.
Everyday English tip.
Stories like this use common time phrases. Later, that night, finally.
These words help listeners follow time naturally.
Mini story 16. The wrong turn.
Next story. A traveler named Lucas takes a wrong turn while hiking.
That can be scary.
At first, yes, but then he notices a small lake he's never seen before.
A hidden place.
He sits there alone, watching the water.
So the mistake leads to beauty.
Exactly. Sometimes being lost shows you something new.
Mini story 17. The final light.
Last mini story. A janitor named Mr. Rahman works late at night in an office building.
Everyone else has gone home?
Yes, floor by floor, he turns off the lights.
Quiet responsibility.
At the last office, he pauses and looks out the window at the city lights.
A moment to breathe.
He switches off the final light and smiles to himself.
Final listening practice suggestion.
Now that you've heard all 4 parts, here's a simple exercise.
Choose one story from any part.
Choose one story from any part and retell it, out loud or in your head.
Use simple English. Don't worry about mistakes.
Listening becomes speaking when you repeat stories.
And stories stay with you longer than rules.
And that brings us to the end of today's listening practice.
Thank you for spending this time with us and listening to these mini stories.
Remember, improving your English doesn't have to be stressful or complicated.
A few minutes of listening every day, stories like these, can slowly build your confidence.
If you enjoyed this episode, try listening again later and notice how much more you understand.
And don't forget to retell one story in your own words. That's where real progress happens.
We'll be back with more simple stories and natural English conversations.
Until then, keep listening, keep learning, and be kind to yourself.
See you next time.